Hello everybody and welcome back to the Odin's Movie Blog channel. I am the critic who is a cynic, and welcome to the One Man Low Council, one of the rare ones that takes place during the High Council. Much apologies again to my fandom menace brethren. I normally try to stream beforehand, but rehearsals kept me from doing so, and of course I must have my stream. Poppyton is already over on DLive. What is going on, Poppyton? How is it going? How is it going for you? I need to change the name over there on the DLives really quickly. Let me go ahead and see. I need that, and then I need to go back to the dashboard, and then I need to go back here, and then I need to go back over here, and then I need to go back. I thought they already changed this, but apparently I didn't. Paste. Boom. It has been saved. Perfect. And now DLive is accurate. What's going on, peeps? What is going on, everybody? What's going on? Let's see. New Disguise is in here. Meep, cough, cough. What is going on, New Disguise? The Senate's here as well. John Matrix, hello. Be excellent to each other. John Matrix, glad to have you over here. Nickel Noodles, what is going on, Nickel Noodles? Glad to have you here. A Trap Productions, greetings, my lord. Hello. It's a Trap Productions. How art thou? Sasha Neon says, Odin's alive. Both late and on time. Yes, indeed. But I was telling you, and I told you that I'd be late, so am I really late then? I think I'm mostly on time. Mario Pedro says, I was just thinking of you. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Mark Lersurth says, Odin. What's going on, Mark? G-Monkey, what's going on, man? What is going on? Dion. Movie Nerds, what's up, lads? What's up, Movie Nerds? J-Roar is here as well. The Senate is here, and Rosetta Allen is here. Evo. Cosmozal Jimmy is here as well. Rhaegar Targaryen. Rosetta Allen, what's going on? The Senate says, I'll take the low council over the high council because the low council is that underground stuff. I know, right? It's that underground, off the beaten path stuff, but also all of the chat gets read. We are not a super chat exclusive stream, not knocking the high council, because of course, when you have like well over 1,000 people watching you, it's pretty much impossible to keep up with that chat. So still. Rosetta Allen says, Hakola Odin, hope you're doing well tonight. I am doing just fine. Just got back from rehearsal. Sunny B says, is it 9 p.m.? No, it's not 9 p.m. I got home early, and so I decided to start the stream early because that's just what I do. That is just what I do, because I'd rather start the stream early and end it early than start the stream later and have to go to bed later, especially when last night I just did not get that much sleep, and I really do want to be able to get more sleep. So that is the reason why. Stephanie Janizek, thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Random Nerdu says, Hail Odin. Hail to you, good sir. Hail to you. Blake Hamler says, hey, Odin, it's been great. It's great to be here tonight. Great to have you here. No ending early. Well, I'm not ending it early. What I mean is that because I'm starting at 8:30, it means that I can go to like 10 p.m. and then it's an hour and a half stream. Beforehand, I would have had to start at 9 p.m. and then go to 10:30, and so this allows me to, not have to be up as late as usual. Stephanie Janizek, Smugglers Katina, thank you very much for the super chat, says, hey, remind me of Soylo's numbers. Thank you. Soylo made around $392 million worldwide. It needed to make around, It needed to make, let's see, for the total cost of the film, it cost with marketing around $450 to $500 million to make, meaning that it needed to make a good chunk of monkey and a good chunk of money. And because it only got 60% of that 392, that means that it lost close to between 150 and between 150 million and 200 million dollars is how much that lost. So yeah. Grandmaster Yoda says, do you think if Alita was a Marvel hero, the film can hit $1 billion? I mean, that's kind of like an impossible hypothetical because she's not a Marvel hero. Do I think that if they had her under Disney's brand and gave her the same attention as they would a Marvel hero, then yeah, I think that absolutely they would have the potential to hit $1 billion. But it's not a guarantee. It is not a guarantee. Lou, hey mate, how's your day been? Lou, what's going on, man? What's going on? How's it going? Slash Neon says, can you wish my mom a happy birthday? Absolutely. Happy birthday. Slash Neon's mom. Happy birthday indeed. Mirror Jeremy, what's going on? Dwayne Mitchell is here as well. Mega21, what is going on? Hope that you enjoy the High Council. Orange Hat Review says, Low Council, but you are the All-Father. You are higher than the High Council. I don't matter. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. I really do. It means a lot. It really means a lot to me for you to say that. It really does. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. Random Nerd Doom says, I heard Dash Star joined the Phantom Menace. Good on him. He seems like a good guy, unlike Star Wars Theory. I don't know anything about Dash Star, so I can't really say much for him. Super says, hello, good sir. How are you doing? Hello, Super Anime Gamer. How art thou? How art thou? Senate says, I'm glad you streamed later. It's my B-Day. Oh, well, happy B-Day, Senate. Happy B-Day, Senate. Hope you have a very good one. Hope you have a very great birthday. Rosetta Allen says, I seriously am so glad you are around. Can't get up, nerves flared, and you can help me smile when soaring down. Well, glad to hear that, Rosetta Allen. And that is one of the reasons why I like to do these streams, because I know that everyone has something to bring, and I do everything that I can to try and distract you away from those things, or at least make them entertaining. Rosetta Allen, also, thank you very much for the $2 donation. Thank you so much for donating through Streamlabs, because that way YouTube does not get a damn dime, and YouTube has been totally sucking lately. And she says, thank you for all the laughs and making my days more enjoyable. No problem, Rosetta Allen. Thank you so much for being a part of these chats, for always being here, for becoming a regular to this channel, and for always bringing your stories and sharing them with us all. It really does mean a lot to have someone share those stories. So really, thank you so much for being here. Going back over to my D-Lab people, Papa Ton, Phonemo. What's going on, Phonemo? What's going on? Dion and Papi Ton are over on the D-Lives as well. Papi Ton says, talk about Alita Above. Talk about Alita Above? What do you mean Alita Above? Well, basically all we know about Alita at this point is that we are indeed getting a Blu-ray release in late July. Pre-orders are already available on Amazon and Best Buy. You can get a pretty good deal for a Steelbook 4K edition. It looks beautiful from Best Buy for about $35, and we're going to do some giveaways. So not tonight, but in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do, because of the generosity of one of my subscribers, JJ, he gave and donated some money and said it is going to be specifically used to buy pre-orders for people during the next giveaway. So we're going to do a giveaway at some point, and we're going to give away pre-orders of the Steelbook and also the Blu-ray for it as well. We haven't decided yet exactly how many copies we're going to give away, but we know that we're going to give away at least 2 or 3 of the Steelbook Best Buy editions. Now, if I need to, and of course, we'll figure out how to get it shipped to you to make sure that it is available wherever you are. And if worst case scenario happens, then I might have to pre-order it for myself and then ship it to you when I get it. But of course, we'll figure all that stuff out when we actually have the giveaway. It's not happening tonight, over the next couple of weeks, so please stay tuned for that. Hyper says, nice to see you, my brother. What is going on, Hyper? Nice to see you as well. Orange Heart Review says, I meant you are better. No, I don't matter. Stupid phone Mike. You do matter, Orange Heart Reviews. You do matter. Absolutely you matter. And well, thank you, Orange Chat. I really do appreciate that. That really does mean a lot, because I have a lot of mad respect for the people over on the High Council. I hope to be invited back one day. Sasha Dion says, see the Swamp Thing trailer? I got shivers. No, I have not seen it. Is it good? Is it good? John Early says, do you think Good Will Hunting is on the same level as The Shawshank Redemption? I'm curious of your opinion, Allfather. Now, I like both movies. I think both films are modern classics. By modern, of course, I mean from the 90s on. I would say that both are in that category of being modern classics. Shawshank, though, is in a category in and of itself, and there aren't a whole lot of films I can think of, especially 90s and past, that can match The Shawshank Redemption and just the power that that film has and just how freaking good that film is. So I would say Good Will Hunting is a good film. I would not say it's in the same level as Shawshank, though I would say that as far as great films of the modern era, that they're both a part of that category. So it's yes and no. It is a part, but it's also not a part as well. If that makes any sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Should make sense. Random Nerd says, would a Predator movie from the point of view of the Predator work? Also, if we had him survive until the end of the movie, would and made the humans the bad guys, could that work as a film? I think that'd be hilarious, actually, to be honest. I mean, when you look to films like, for example, Brightburn, where they take a concept and they turn it on its head, if they do it well, if they write a good script for it, it can work. So even let's just take Predator. If you were to take a film that just had a Predator-like being, that ends up being, from the very beginning, from the very onset, the good guy, and then the humans around them are the bad guys, you could definitely make that work. However, you definitely need to be able to know exactly what it is you're trying to accomplish, because if you don't, then things can get lost very easily in translation, can get lost in the weeds, and then you get yourself a crappy film. So it can work, but you need asterisks. You need to have a good script in order to do it. Alexander says, what did you think of Sansa Stark's actress calling Game of Thrones fans disrespectful for petitioning? Well, that's pretty old news at this point, and I think that she's entitled to that opinion, to be honest. Because think about from her perspective. Obviously, it's easy for us to be critical because the writing was objectively bad. What they did to that series was awful. But for her to step up and say that it's disrespectful for the petition, she is speaking as an actress who worked with the other actors, the directors, the writers, the producers, the set designers, all of the behind-the-scenes people that put hours and hours of content in. And so she's taking it as a, hey, I think that this is offensive to all of the people who work their asses off for hours on end to put this product out there, and I think that she has every right to have that opinion. Now, do I think that she needs to necessarily go after the fans? No. So two things can be true at once. Yes, I think that she has the right to step up for and defend the people that she works with. However, I don't think it's ever a good idea to go after your fan base because that is one of the dumbest things that you can ever do. Lou is, what was that, Lou laughing? Oh, hey, mate, how's your day been? No, I got that one already. I got that one already. Trot is jumping all over for me, but don't worry, I have not missed anything yet. Lou just says, what? WHA? Hybrid says, watched Monty Python Holy Grail. Really awesome. Feels like a movie of its own genre. What a lovely classic. Hybrid, that is a great movie choice, Monty Python. By the way, guys, so this morning, we had our first morning movie stream as Guardian Morning Movie. In fact, we're calling it AMM, or at least that's what I'm going to call it. So every Tuesday morning, we're going to have an AMM stream. Literally, it's an AM movie stream. AMM. I thought it was clever. So anyway, we're having an AMM stream every single Tuesday, and we just found this app. And Valkyrie, please, if you could tag me in the person that recommended Rabbit. It works. Rabbit works. And the way that it works is that you create an account, and then anyone can basically host a movie or a TV series, start streaming it, and then if you have a link to the chat, you can join in and watch along. And I have no idea how they're able to get away with it, how it's able to stay legal, but somehow it does. Somehow it's legit. It's been around for at least a couple of years now from what I saw from videos of doing tutorials on it and such, but it was really cool. I had about 7 or so people in there watching Akira. So we watched Akira this morning. Oh boy, Akira. So I know that Bruce sent me Akira, and I will say this much. I think that Akira is revolutionary. I think that as an anime, it definitely laid the groundwork and foundation for a lot of excellent films. However, by the end of Akira, I was just all over the place like, oh my god, what in the hell is going on? And I was so confused. But artistically though, beautiful animation, beautiful. And again, the bigger ideas that were presented in Akira were fantastic, were awesome. But this rabbit works. So it's so funny calling it just a rabbit, but it is an actual website. Look it up for yourself. It's called Rabbit, but it works. It worked very well. And so I'm actually thinking of the next time that we do a mainstream channel movie night, we're not going to do it on the main channel. We're just going to have a link to this chat room, essentially. And it works the same way as a YouTube chat where you sign up for it. You're in there. You can still type in the chat. You can still type in your thoughts and stuff. And then I can even still show my video camera, have my microphone on so that way I can leave commentary as we're watching it together. So I'm thinking of doing that for our next movie night. So our next Saturday or so that we are going to have time to do the movie night. I think I said this Saturday we were going to try and do a movie night and that we were going to determine what the movie was going to be. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to use this Rabbit app because it is pretty cool. It really is. It really worked it worked very well. So anyway, Rabbit, look it up. It's pretty cool. There's people and there's also not just private forums, there's also public ones as well, and they're showing movies and television shows you can see. You can just go in there and see what it's going to be like. Now, ours are going to be private because I just don't want it to open up to every person that wants to watch the movie because there were a lot of idiots in some of these public chats that were just writing some of the most despicable things, and of course, we don't want that. We don't need that. And there is definitely some question marks as far as control of various things. But that's why we're going to try it out, I think. The first time for a movie night, we're gonna use that. But next Tuesday, we are going to do another AMM, and we are specifically going to be using the Rabbit app. We're not going to be streaming to DLive as much as I would like to. It just would make things so much easier if we are all just in that one location. So what I'm thinking of doing is having it be where maybe I start the stream early and do a mini stream just to get people in, just to get the link out to people, and then ending the stream and then going directly over to the Rabbit service. Because, again, it worked really well. And speaking of that, let me go ahead and go over to my DLive people. Let's see. Dion says, I forgot about your rehearsal, so I'm streaming as well. DLive is getting a double dose of O's movie blog. Nice, Dion. Well, thank you very much. And, of course, you have again, I have no issue with you streaming my stream over there. So, hey, good on you, man. Poppyton says, I missed Akira this morning due to a stream I was doing until 5 a.m. Oh, Poppyton, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. It was fun. It was so fun just to have like the actual service work. Just to have everyone in there and be like, hey, guess what? We can all talk to each other. It's great. And yeah, Akira gets nuts. Seriously, it gets totally nuts, the anime. Now, the manga, and Poppyton saying the manga explains things a little bit more, I might need to get some of that background because towards the end of it, especially the very, very end, when just one line is said and then it just fades to white and then it's the end, I was like, what? So it's one of those things where I appreciate it for what it is, but overall, just the story had some things that were lacking for me, like as a coherent story. I think there were some really great moments for sure, but that's just me. That is just me. It felt like you were taking acid, the K-Man. The K-Man says, I missed the disclaimer where you needed to take acid to watch Akira. K-Man, exactly. Like so many of us felt that way. We're like, what's going on here? AutoWork says Akira aged a bit, was groundbreaking anime at the time. No, I will still argue without any hesitation that it is a groundbreaking anime and that is an extremely important anime and that I think it should be watched. Because you watch it and you say, oh my God, now I can see where so many people got their ideas from. I can see where certain visual stylings came from. Use of music. Violence, even within the anime genre itself, I thought was very well presented. And so I think it's important. I will definitely back it for that as being an important film, and I'm glad that I have it in my collection. But yeah, I definitely think it's a weird one, though. So I can't say, subjectively, though, I can't say that I enjoyed it all that much. AutoWorks, thank you very much, man. Always so very generous. Thank you for the lemon ice cream. And Diamond, Dion, thank you very much for the ice cream. The K-Man, thank you for the lime, thank you for the lemon. And Poppyton, thank you for the 2 ice creams. Thank you for the ice cream. I appreciate it very much so. Grandmaster Yoda, going back over to my YouTube peeps. Grandmaster Yoda says, my theater must be nuts these days. They focus on the movie about Elton John tomorrow and not Godzilla. How do they dare do that? The fandom, the king of monsters. It sounds to me, based on what your theater experience has been, when you told me that A Star is Born was still in your theater, I don't think your theater's doing it on purpose, necessarily. It sounds like your theater is just being given, because remember, theaters make deals with studios in order to host certain movies, so it sounds to me like your theater just has to make certain deals in order to get certain movies to stay, which includes keeping movies long past the time that they should be kept, and maybe delaying when certain movies should be coming in also. Because remember, too, that it's not being released, at least with Godzilla, it's not being released in every country on the same day. Now, what is cool is that China is getting it on the 31st. So I'm going to see it on Thursday at 4 p.m., and we'll have a pretty good idea about how much money it's going to make by the end of the weekend, because it is getting a full release across the world by the 31st, with only a few countries being an exception to that. Rosetta Allen says, I just wanted to give you a laugh. I was accused of being alt-right, anti-woman, anti-minority on Geeks and Gamers posts for defending men, but Geeks gave me mad love and support. Dude, yeah. Dude, Geeks and Gamers will give you so much love for that, seriously, because he and so many others who do videos for that channel, me included, we get attacked all the time. You know, we get attacked all the time. We get called alt-right. We get called some of the worst names imaginable, but it's total crap. It is total and utter crap. And it's so funny that you, as someone as mixed race, as someone who is very much someone who identifies as Native American, and who also is an amazing person in the first place, and I would say more in line with centrism than anything else. It's so funny to hear people get called this. It's so funny that anything that's not far SJW left, not even just left, far SJW left, automatically is labeled alt-right. And it's like, no, stop it. Slasha Neon says, if you like horror thrillers, then Swamp Thing is as good as Batwoman is bad. Okay, I got you. I don't like horrors, but I do like thrillers. So if it focuses more on the thriller aspect of it, then I could be into it. I'm definitely open to watching the show. Lou says, watched John Wick 3 last night. What a G up for number 4. You were right. It was good. Oh, so good. It was so damn good, and I cannot wait for Chapter 4 to come out. in a couple years. Alexander says, saw an interview with George R. R. Martin today. He compared the kingdoms squabbling and not noticing the threats beyond the climate change, not an attack on story, just on him. What? That didn't make sense to me. Hybrid says, favorite B movie of my brother. My personal favorite is Army of Darkness. Ooh, Army of Darkness is a great, I guess that could be a B movie. God, I mean, I need to have a list of B movies in front of me to be able to say completely what I would think about, but Army of Darkness is a great choice. I would say Army of Darkness is a solid choice. Good sir. A solid choice, good sir. Very, very solid choice, good friend. Very good friend. Let us see where we are. Let us see where we are in the chat. Renner Doom says, have you ever met a celebrity before, and who is the nicest one you have met? I've met a crap ton, and I'm not trying to name drop here, but I lived in New York. I went to school in New York, and so I went to a lot of plays on Broadway, and so I got to meet people like Patrick Stewart. I got to meet, so I have his autograph. I have also Carrie Fisher's autograph as well. Kevin Smith I met on my 19th birthday on the streets somewhere, which was kind of cool. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I saw him getting into his trailer. I literally was walking by his trailer because he was filming a movie at the time, and so I saw him walking into his trailer. I didn't get to meet him, though. I was very, I think back on that day, and I'm like, I should have said hi. But yeah, I've met a lot of others, too, that I can't think of at the top of my head, at least at this moment. But as far as the nicest goes, I always find that the ones that are not as popular are the ones that are oftentimes the nicest. I can tell you which one was the meanest, and Hank Azaria was by far the meanest. Hank Azaria was a tool, because Hank Azaria, there were maybe like 5 of us waiting for him for an autograph after a show. He was in a show called The Farnsworth Invention, which was about the invention of, the telephone, and about how there was this someone had claimed to have invented it, and it was actually not the person that invented it. And so it goes into the story about who actually invented the technology. It was a really interesting story, and he was great in it. But I remember waiting for him, and we were getting his autograph, and then I asked if I could be like, hey, can I take a quick picture with you? And instead of him just saying, oh, I don't do pictures, which is totally fine. I respect that. I'll go to my favorite example of someone saying no to a picture in a second. I've mentioned it before. But instead, he goes, well, if I take one picture, I got to take 1,000 pictures, and it's going to be a whole thing. And I'm looking around, I'm like, there's 5 people here, man. It's not like everyone's going to crowd you with a picture. So very sorry that you 5 pictures is too much for you. So again, it was all because of the way he reacted. I was like, come on, man. And he was just being a tool about it. He was just being very, very negative. But one person who said no to a picture, who was the nicest, in my opinion, or at least was the coolest, was Sir Patrick Stewart. Because, one, the show he was in Macbeth, and he was incredible, by the way. It was an incredible production, and he was, of course, amazing in the role. And what was cool, though, about the theater was that for them, their stage door was not on the same side as the theater entrance was. So you had to walk an entire block. And if you know anything about New York, so those blocks are long, to get to the back of the building on the next street over. And that is where they would come out. And so because of that, a lot of people had no idea where to go. And because I had been to that theater before, I had an idea, and so therefore I was able to actually get over there. There may have been 10 of us total. For Sir Patrick Stewart, only about 10 of us. And so I got his autograph, I got to talk to him, and I said, Sir Patrick, could I possibly take a picture with you? And his response to me was just, son, I am far past the age of taking photographs, and I'm sorry. And I was just like, Patrick Stewart, you're the man. If you don't want to take pictures, man, you are right. You are so far past the age of taking photographs. You don't have to deal with that nonsense. But he said it very politely. He wasn't an ass about it. He was so gracious to everyone that was there, and he was just a sweetheart. He was a sweetheart. He was awesome. But yeah, Sir Patrick Stewart may have been my favorite celebrity encounter because he's Sir Patrick Stewart. I've met a knight. I met a freaking knight. It was awesome. Let's see, Ivan says, also, do you think Evil Dead 2 is a remake of the first one? Even then, I still found it to be good. Yeah, with Evil Dead, I don't like the first one at all because it's more of a horror story. Evil Dead 2 then takes that, flips it on its head, and makes it more of a comedy, and so Evil Dead 2 is great. And then Army of Darkness is my favorite, though. Love Army of Darkness. This is my boomstick. Shop smart. Shop S smart. Alex McCarthy says, howdy, Odin. Popping in real fast to say, hey, can't be here because wife's birthday. God bless you. Odin, well, happy birthday to your wife, Alex McCarthy. Tell her I say happy birthday. Senate says, if Predator was the focus, all he would think is, why are these humans so stupid? Actually, you know what would be even better? Make it into a musical. Imagine the Predator singing about being alone in the universe. I'm all alone in the universe. The Senate says, did you watch The Last Jedi yet? Well, I've already seen it. Like, I saw it when it originally came out. But if you mean as a stream, no, we watched Akira this morning instead. And you weren't even there, so you know what? You have no say. Soulless Ass says, congratulations on you finally watching Akira. Now, what's your opinion on Taika Waititi doing a live-action version of it? I think that if you're going to pick a director to take that source material and adapt it, I think Taika Waititi is one of the better director choices, for sure. And I think that he could do a lot of good things with it. But when you get to that last third, when you're going to need to use CGI for the massive blob thing that one of the characters becomes, I'm just like, holy crap, I would hate to be the director of this film having to film those shots. And also, what are they going to keep in? What are they going to cut out? Because there is a lot of graphic violence in it. There is a lot of brutality. So, yeah. But if anyone could do it well, I think Taika Waititi is one that could. The only reason why I don't think Taika would be the best person for it is because it's not much of a comedy. Like, there's moments that you kind of laugh, but it's not really a comedy. And so he's more, I think, attuned to being able to tell a comedic storyline. That's why Thor Ragnarok worked very well, because he reinvented Thor. And it wasn't that he made Thor into a joke. He just made Thor a funny character. And I thought it was I thought personally, I like that one. I like that choice. I like that change a lot. But with Akira, I don't know if that same type of comedic flair is going to work nearly as much. So we'll see. I think that we'll actually get an episode of the Mandalorian series, because he's directing an episode of Mandalorian series. We'll get an idea of what he's going to be able to do, balancing drama with comedy, when we see one of those episodes. So I think that he definitely could do I think he could do a good job, but God, it's... Hyper says, when will you ever watch Princess Mononoke? It's all right, man. Take your time. Akira is awesome. Well, now that I'm doing the Tuesday morning streams, it might happen a lot faster, to be honest. I mean, hey, we could easily next week decide last minute, hey, we're going to watch that. Because basically, we're only going to be limited to the way that, for the Tuesday morning ones at the very least, we're only limited to whatever can be streamed. So anything that's available on Hulu or Netflix or YouTube... I think I can probably get even my Movies Anywhere account working, so I've got a lot of movies there. There's a lot of options. A lot of ways for us to be able to stream the movie and watch it together using the Rabbit service. So basically, there's a lot of options for us to be able to watch movies that I've never seen before, including that one. Sorry, so very sorry indeed. Let's see. John Early says, that's an interesting opinion to have about Good Will Hunting and The Shawshank Redemption. By the way, do you like the 1947 film Miracle on 34th Street? If you've seen it, that is. I'm heartbroken that I've never seen that film all the way through. I know what it is. I know it's a Christmas classic, and I know what the story is, but I've never actually sat down to watch the original film, and it's something that's been on my to-do list for a long time. Sasha Neon says, hate watch the reboot Charmed pilot. Oh my God, Slicer, God bless you. Concentrated cringe. Misandry off the scale. So awful. I wondered where Brie Larson was. Oh my goodness, that sounds completely awful. Tech Guy, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Says, I love the Low Council. What's up, Odin? What's going on, Tech Guy? I was just listening to Nerdrotic's podcast. One of his it was Friday Night Tights that he did this past weekend, and I heard super chats from you, man. So Tech Guy, you're good people, man. You are good people. Rosetta Allen says, sounds like a fun plan. What about doing a movie night for Princess Bride? The theme of my wedding and my anniversary is this weekend. Could join with hubby then. Definitely could be a possibility. Alexander says, are you sure you aren't just compelled to defend Sophie Turner because her face was in a show you liked? What? No. I'm being very critical of Game of Thrones Season 8. So no, not at all, Alexander. Not at all. I don't do that. I don't do that nonsense. That's ridiculous. Hyper, actually, you know what? Alexander, you deserve this. You, above all people, deserve this quote. I reject your hypothesis. In fact, that might be my go-to response this point forward from comments like that. Because, good lord, it is a great line. Hybrid says, follow the white rabbit and take the blue pill to get in the Matrix. I know, right? Random Nerd says, what if we digitally edited Rocket Raccoon to replace Bradley Cooper in all of his movies like The Hangover, American Sniper? That could be very interesting. That would take a lot of work, but hey, I'd watch it. That guy says, my lineup this weekend, Godzilla, Brightburn, double header. That is a great lineup. Brightburn, very good. I liked it a lot. Godzilla, this Thursday, 4 p.m. CST IMAX. I'm very, very pumped to see it. Rhaegar Targaryen says, have you seen Castlevania yet? No. I don't know much about Castlevania because isn't that a game? Did that start off as a game? Maybe. Or no, or is that an anime? So maybe that's something that we need to do. G-Monkey says, will Rabbit stream the movie or will we need our own copy? So no, wait, the way it works, G-Monkey, is that if I'm the one hosting it, and anyone can host, but obviously it would be, I'd be the one hosting it. So therefore, I get everything set up. And so basically what it does is the way the system is set up is that as I create the chat, I then enter into a movie name, or if I have a direct link, so let's say I just go to my own personal Hulu and I go exactly to the page where Akira is playing. I put that in the link, and then it opens up a browser window within the actual service itself. And I think it's Firefox that actually it runs through. And then I do sign in, do my credentials, and then basically anyone that's invited over can see what I'm watching. And so when I do full screen, you just see the movie. And so you are literally in a chat room with a movie playing. Like that's how it is. I don't know how it's legal. I don't know if it is legal, but it's been around for a couple years. So, and I'm not, making any money off of it, because the one downside to using that is because it's not on YouTube or anything, there's no way to do any type of contribution. So I might try and say, hey, if you want to support streams like this, click on the PayPal link or whatever. I might try and do something like that. That way, if you want to support, and especially if you're getting access to a movie that you wouldn't otherwise have access to, but that's something that we can cross, we can get to that point eventually over time. So we'll get there at some point. But no, you don't need your own copy. That's the beauty of it, is that any person with the link to the stream gets to watch the stream with anyone else in there. And it's great. It really is cool. Now, as I said before, there are some issues with it, though, because there isn't a lot of restrictions that I could tell as far as who can control certain aspects of it, because it's supposed to be a way for friends to be able to watch things with each other if they're not next to each other. So let's say that they go away from college, they want to watch a series together, they can watch it together. And so there's this aspect of, oh, there's a remote and you can steal the remote. Isn't that fun? Well, when you're hosting a stream, it's not nearly as fun. So that might be problematic, but I think there's a way for me to restrict it. And if I'm just focusing on that chat, then I'll be able to try and make sure no shenanigans happen. But of course, that'll be something that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Hybrid says, I saw John Wick 3, solid movie, part of Saga, 7.7 out of 10. Only nitpick I have was Morpheus was still alive after 7 slashes. Was I missing something despite that it was a good movie? No, I think Hyprin, it's a good nitpick. However, I think him just being so pissed off and him also being a big guy justifies him somehow being able to survive. John Wiggler says, Odin, you just don't like these Japanese anime. That's not true at all. Alita was great, and it's based off of a manga. So, Super says, now that you've seen Akira, what do you think of Taika Waititi directing live-action adaptation? All right, I already talked about that. The Sense says, I think I know why China gets Godzilla early. They don't actually. They get it the same time. They get it the same time as the U.S. does. We're talking about China. I didn't see Japan's. Now, if Japan got it early, then you could make a comment about that. I think you got your countries mixed up, bud. Ooh, you think you got your countries mixed up. Rosetta Allen says, oh, you're awesome. And I just looked down and said, damn, I guess my boobs and are moobs now. I do have a sense of dark humor. Nice. Also, Memory Troll, thank you for the super chat, says, are you a KOTOR fan? I've never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I heard it's great. And as far as content goes, I would love to see some Old Republic content. William Jenkins, thank you very much for your very generous $15 super chat, says, you know that I was willing to give D&D the benefit of the doubt for their Star Wars movie, but that was before I heard they are colluding with Roundhead. Now I'd rather watch grass grow. Will Jenkins, I remember the super chat you sent, man. In fact, I can probably pull it up because this thing usually saves everything, but maybe not. Nope, it's just from the last day. But yeah, I remember the super chat you sent where you were saying how you didn't want us to be gatekeepers. But yeah, I haven't looked into to see just how involved Rian Johnson is going to be in this trilogy that they have. But holy crap, Could you imagine? Like it's almost like a it's almost like a grouping of all the greatest supervillains as far as movie writers are concerned, like of content writers are concerned. Those that have destroyed franchises. It's like a superpower. It's like a what's it called? You had the Super Friends, and then you had the Hall of Justice, and the oh my god, what was the opposite one called? Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice, but then the other one was something Doom? Is that what it was? God, I'm forgetting. I am forgetting it. Someone, D-Live, let me know. D-Live, let me know. Let's see. Random Nerd Doom says, if Star Wars is for 12-year-olds, then explain to me why Carrie Fisher was in bra bikinis. I don't think 12-year-olds are into that kind of thing yet. Well, I think his thing would be like, oh, well, you know, they're about to go through puberty, and so therefore, yeah, I mean, dude, George Lucas made me so upset. And that's why the title for this is Sorry, George Lucas, because seriously, George Lucas, he went out of his way in an interview to say that, oh, well, people forget that this was made for 12-year-olds originally anyway. And it's like, what? And then you just think about all the things that are in there, and you're like, if you honestly think that the things and content of your movies are meant for 12-year-olds, then good Lord, what is your opinion of the mind of a 12-year-old? Random Nerds also says, would a young Mel Gibson have been a good Punisher? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Grandmaster Yoda says, I think can be happy Batwoman not get into theaters with the bad PR it has. Well, it's not going to get into the theaters because it's a TV series. So don't worry about that because it's a TV series, at least for now. John Winkler says, I got to meet Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera before they retired. It was awesome. Dude, that is awesome. Mariano Rivera is one of my favorite baseball players. Even though I'm a Red Sox fan, I have mad respect for Mariano Rivera. Tina says, I met James Doohan, the original Scotty, when he was here for a convention years ago. He was very nice, stood a few inches from a stage with Russell Crowe, his band in Chicago in 2001. That's awesome, Tina. Frank, what's going on, Frank? Puppy News, she is 12.1 ounces now. Nice, Frank. Congratulations once again. Rosetta Allen says, most of the celebrities I've met, the more musicians and comedians. Nicest were Carmen, Kathy Tricoli, Amy Lee, Jeff Dunham, and Terry Fator. Oh, Amy Lee. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Senate says, you met Professor X. I'm definitely not jealous. Yep, I met Professor X. Senate says, to be fair, I was getting ready for school. I'll be there next stream. No problem at all, Senate. No problem at all. Legion of Doom. Thank you very much. The Legion of Doom. Yes, so Ryan Johnson and D&D, they are the Legion of Doom when it comes to some of our favorite franchises. Sasha Neon says, Alien vs. Predator vs. Freddy vs. Jason on Ice, the musical. Jason on Ice. So wait, no, that's the whole thing? Yes. Yes, Slicer Neons. Let's get that made. Alien vs. Predator vs. Freddy vs. Jason on Ice, the musical. Let's make it happen, Captain. Random Nerd Doom says, do you ever worry about your students egging your house? Not really. Because they don't know where I live. I don't share that information. And please don't dox me either. Don't be an ass. Rosetta Allen says, there are a lot of movies from the anime crew that made Princess Mononoke. They are so much fun. Nice, 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 nice. Couch Puppy is back. Yep, Couch Puppy is back. Al Bundy is here. What's up, Al Bundy? Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows series based on the Taika Waititi movie? I've not seen the series, but the movie is great. That is a great Taika Waititi film. Great film. Hypern says, my box has more charisma than Bor Larson. And you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. So, you know how this new scene came out, this extended scene came out where you have Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, who's supposed to be a hero, torturing an innocent person, really acting the villain? You know how that was all supposed to be like an homage to the Terminator? Here's the thing. The Terminator, meaning Arnold Schwarzenegger, did a better job playing his part than Brie Larson did. And the reason why is this. Brie Larson was supposed to be playing a human or at least semi-human character. While on the other hand, you had the Terminator, who was a machine, non-human, trying to figure out how to be more human, had to be taught how to be more human, and was terrible at it, who had more emotion and charisma. Let that sink in for a second. And some people say, oh, how come you didn't criticize that? It's because he was supposed to be a freaking robot. And he was a robot. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel was not supposed to be a robot. And yet she acted as if she was one. So, okay. Seriously. Oh, lordy, lordy. Inconceivable. Super says, my thoughts exactly. Taika is talented, but his style and passion is definitely colorful comedy. Whatever the movie comes out to be, it's certainly going to be interesting. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting take, nonetheless. Tina says, I also met one of the greatest forensic specialists who ever lived, Dr. Bill Bass, who helped design the body farm, as well as Patricia Cromwell, as she helped sponsor forensic work. Nice. That's very cool. Lou, got a cruise. Sorry, mate. Take it easy. You have a good one, Lou. Appreciate it. Jake75 says, 2 game shows are being rebooted for ABC, Press Your Luck and Card Sharks. Why? Why are game shows being rebooted? That's stupid. Herpicus McDerpington says, have you gotten around to reading any of the Star Wars EU yet? If so, would you give any recommendations for Dumb and Dumber to adapt so they don't F up Star Wars? Well, it's not even material. They would need the actual writer of the material on set, in control of the story. That's what they would need in order to not screw up anything. But yeah, I've mentioned this on streams before. I've already read the Thrawn trilogy. I'm more than halfway through the Thrawn duology. I've read Outbound Flight, and I'm in the process of trying to start other books too. So yeah, I've read some of the EU stuff, and there's some good content out there they could adapt. Now, they're probably going to be more Old Republic, and I have not read a whole lot of Old Republic, but I definitely have gotten a lot of really great recommendations for some Old Republic stuff that I do need to start. Let us see. Smooth Jam California says, did you hear that Marvel are planning on making what? Oh, Jonah Jameson black in FFH. Instead of bringing back J.K. Simmons, all I have to say is I don't want a new Jameson. I just want pictures of Spider-Man. No, seriously. Also, let it just say that if you're going to bring back Jonah Jameson, why not bring back J.K. Simmons? He is the perfect Jonah Jameson. And also, why go out of your way to cast somebody? God, that bothers me. That really does. Hyper says, you think he was a big guy? Bane would like to have a word with you for you. Okay. Rosetta Allen says, Disney is the Empire merged with the Borg. Futile resistance is join the SJWs. Join the SJWs. You must. Random Nerve says, what do you think about the dog breed known as Morkies? They look a lot like real-life Ewoks. I know nothing about that. Nothing about it. Memory Troll, thank you very much for the $5 Super Chat. Says, love your vlogs, man. I just started a channel. Check it out. Well, guys, go check out Memory Troll. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. All right, heading back over to my D-Live people. Don't worry, I have not forgotten about you. Poppyton says, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Ooh, that's a B movie. That is definitely a B movie. Poppyton also says, the live-action Akira was going to be set in New York and not Tokyo, and I'm worried about that. Yeah, again, it all depends on how the execution works. Lord Gore, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that very, very much so. Brad Beer Hunter says, why is Kazakhstan getting Godzilla early? You have to ask studios. Studios make the deals with those countries. Poppyton, Legion of Doom. Yes, thank you very much. Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom is also a great tag team, says Brad. That is a true statement. That is a true statement, my friend. That is a very true statement. All right. And that is all for my D-Live people. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Hybrid says, we need more villains like Heath Ledger's Joker. There are too many sympathetic ones. I agree. I'm actually, speaking of Joker, I'm very excited. Very, very excited for the Joker film coming out in October. Super says, Rabbit sounds legal to me. It's not much really different from sharing your streaming passwords or watching stuff on Skype. One thing that's crazy is that it can be made public. Well, you see, that's just the thing, though, is that in your terms and conditions, you're not allowed to share your passwords with other people. So it is technically illegal. So that's why I want to be as careful with that as possible. Because the lucky thing, though, is that since it's just one stream, they're not going to be able to tell that it's being watched by others. But yeah, I don't know how they get away with it. But yeah, the fact that they can become public, that is also. Because at one point there was one person who had a stream, and they were streaming a TV show. I think there was a Family Guy stream, and there was like 80 people in there. And I was like, holy crap, how does this happen? How does this work? Super says, Rabbit. Okay, got one. Tina says, I call them the Unholy Trio. Legion of Doom, I think, is better. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, Senate says, Dumb and Dumber possible collusion with Roundhead. Yeah, seriously. Benioff and Weiss. BW. Rosetta Allen, George Lucas is so full of himself anymore. He isn't even saying the same stuff that he used to say anymore. He bought into his own hype. Yep, I think he's also heartbroken too, to be honest. Smooth Jam California said Captain Marvel probably shouldn't have taken on the Dawn. Now the whole mafia are going to be after her. Yep, good point. Great point. Super says, I'm guessing television networks and studios hate Rabbit though. Probably. Though it doesn't seem like it's that big of a site, because even though there were 80 people in that one stream, there weren't a whole lot, which makes me think a lot more people use it as private streams. So I guess it works in that capacity, that a lot of people aren't just trying to make public streams and get money for it, because that's the other thing too, is that you're not making money off of it. So John Early says, I've seen the colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life, and it's weird watching the film in color. All Father. Yeah, I don't like that one. It's really amazing how they were able to do it, but at the same time, too, I like the original, the way it was meant to be. John Wingler says, you're a Sox fan, too much respect for... Oh, well, thank you, man. Yeah, Red Sox. Frank says, sorry, a bit late. Doomcock Roundtable ran over. No problem at all. Blake Henlo says, did you ever watch my cousin Wade Boggs play baseball in MLB back in the day? No, I did not. Grandmaster Yoda says, if Ryan Star Wars killer really works with the Game of Thrones killers, I wonder if Disney have the wish to throw all the cash in the trash. They are pretty much calling it out in that way, I would say. Hiram says, John Wick and Punisher versus Thanos and his army. John Wick and Punisher, easily. Random Nerd says, I met Peter Mayhew, and please forgive me for saying this, but he was the meanest celebrity I met so far. Asked him, could we talk? And he said, I don't do that, and he told me to go away. Well, Random Nerd, that doesn't sound that mean to me. Like, that's what a celebrity has every right. Any person has, like, if someone came up to me and said, hey man, can we talk? And I don't know who they are, I'd say, I don't do that, or hey, I don't have time. So I don't think that's mean, personally. I think you may have taken it as mean, but I don't think it was actually mean. Knowing what I know about you, Random Nerd, I think that you think it was mean, but to the outside perspective, I don't think it's as mean as you think it was. Soul Assassin says, my mom met Shawn Michaels while at an office party years ago, and my dad was at the Red Hot Chili Peppers lead singer while on a business trip. They said they were really nice to meet. That's awesome. It's always great to know that people that you really like or look up to are nice people. Are nice people in real life. Sasha Neon says, I doubt Arnie needed a butt double. Nope. At least not then. Maybe now, but at least not then. All right, D-Live people, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. No buffering here, Flames. All right, so no one is having buffering except for one person. Sorry for the one person with buffering issues, though. That is never a good thing. Smooth Jam California says, I know you hate live-action Disney films, and I don't blame you, but what was your thought on Christopher Robin? I thought it was cute, definitely up for a standalone Tigger movie now. Well, here's the thing. I don't like live-action reboots of stories. That was not a live-action reboot. That was an individual story utilizing live-action adaptations of animated characters. It was a unique story. There is no Christopher Robin animated movie that is a shot-for-shot remake, for example. That's the reason why I actually really like Christopher Robin. It was a very underrated film. Not a whole lot of people saw it, and I think it is one of the better films that they've made recently. I loved Christopher Robin. It was a great family film. So good. Super says, Disney should duct tape Timothy Zahn to D&D when they start on Star Wars. It will be painful, and for that I am sorry, but the only way to protect Star Wars, yes, seriously, get Timothy in there and let him write every single damn word, and then we'll be fine. Mario Pedro says, do you think they will ever reboot Back to the Future? Zemeckis said over his dead body, but can he stop it? He can stop it, because I think he owns the rights to it, but he's not a young chicken anymore. He's not a spring chicken anymore, so I'm worried that they will not let his body be cold before they say, we're going to do a reboot. And I'll reject that because it doesn't need to be rebooted. The only other Star Wars content, or rather, the only other Back to the Future project I would support would be a short film in the future. Like a short film update on where the characters have been. I would be okay with that. And if you would do it to charity, that would be even better. A short film for charity, I would love to see all of those actors back on the screen together one more time. I think that could be really cool. Random Nerd says they already have a black JJJ in Savage Dragon comics. There was a parody of that. I can't remember his name, but he was exactly like John Jameson. If Marvel had a black JJJ, they'd be copying. Well, that's what they do, kind of. So Neon says, are you allowed to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space sober? Has anyone? I Well, I'm always sober, so I've never seen it either, though. Hireman says, can I say John Wick 3 can have bonus points for making the animals badass? Honestly, there should be an Oscar category for them. Hashtag best dog, team horse. Holy crap, yeah. The dog training for that movie was freaking fantastic. And the fact that, remember that Halle Berry became a dog trainer. So when she's giving the commands, they're listening to her. They're not listening to someone else on, off screen. And I think that's so dope. Senate says, no hate towards minorities since I am one, but why in the helling hell would they make J. Jonah Jameson black? Well, again, why not? It would be theirs. They would say, why? Why is that a problem? Why are you thinking about race? Well, because you obviously thought about race, because if you're going to try and tell me that you made this casting because this person was the best person for the job, I'm probably going to question it. At least at first, because I know Hollywood, I know how you cast, I know how you push for identity politics over everything else, and so, yeah, I'm going to call you out on that. Rosetta Allen says, George gets little sympathy from me because he loves spitting in the face of his fans. Hollywood changes people. If your soul isn't strong enough, still pray for him. Though. Absolutely. Pray for all of them. God, they all need it. They all need prayers. Super says, you're not supposed to share your usernames and passwords. Proves how many people actually read their terms of service. Exactly right. Yeah, you're not supposed to share that stuff, and I don't. Except for, like, my family members. But even then, it's like, okay, so one extra person. But even then, most of the time, it's I can't think of one thing that it isn't allowed for. Like, for example, with Netflix, you can add different profiles and stuff. So it's actually allowed for because you can have multiple screens up at the same time. So, but originally you couldn't. So, yeah, that's why I think that what Rabbit does is that it gets around the loophole because you're not sharing your password or username with anyone. You're not streaming it like in a public forum. I mean, except for their public spaces, which is why I think that probably streams get taken down in their public forum state. And also, it's not being recorded. It's not being kept in the cloud. It's just there. I guess, again, there must be something that they're doing that allows them to get away with it without having to worry about getting sued by anybody. Let's see. Smooth Jam California says, George Lucas is the crazy old uncle we all have, but let him have fantasies about Star Wars being for kids. At least he didn't actively try to ruin his story. Okay, yeah, it's a fair point to make. Blake Emlo says, I remember a movie being filmed in my small town a decade ago or so. I can't remember the name of the movie right now. If I can remember the title, I'll let you know. Yeah, I mean, it's always cool to see that stuff happen. And when I lived in New York, it happened like all the time. It was really cool always to be like, oh yeah, they're filming Gossip Girl down the street. Oh yeah, they're filming this down the street. CW Trixie says, how about if they make a new Godzilla movie in black and white like the OG Godzilla? Ooh, that could be cool. That could be really cool. Hybrid says, I will never pay another cent to Disney. Already was underwhelmed with Endgame. I don't need more trash. Yeah, Endgame was just so... Again, it's probably going to be on one of my worst of the year list, to be perfectly honest. And I know there's people that like it, and I respect you for liking it. But the objective flaws of that film, I cannot get past. Rosetta Allen says, not everyone will agree, but I say McGregor is awesome, so his touch helped. McGregor. Oh, Ewan McGregor was awesome. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, that movie was great. I think that movie was fantastic. And Ewan McGregor is a great actor. He is fantastic. That's why every person who's a Star Wars fan wants him to play Obi-Wan Kenobi again. And I think the last I heard, he's getting a series. Or at least they're talking about giving him a series on the Disney Plus service. Which, hey, you know what? As long as it's written well, it could be good. Random Nerd says, I think you are right about my thinking of Peter Mayhew. I can be a Michael Scott from The Office sometimes. I can't understand people that well and come at things in a childlike way. And again, it's not anything personal against you, man. But I just think that very well could be the case. Because since I was not there, I cannot say one way or the other. But I was just making a observation. Because that's what I do. I make observations, I see things, and I observe. I observe and report. And not that terrible, terrible Kevin James movie. Smooth James California says, I agree. We need far more Christopher Robins and less Beauty and the Beast. Aladdin, Lion King's style of the market favors the latter of the moment. Yeah, I agree, man. And that's why I said, Aladdin actually could have been great had they named it Jasmine and had they decided to actually change the story and have it be almost like an entirely different movie altogether and a different experience. Now, not everyone would have liked it, and they probably, had they done that, would have put the wrong people in charge, and it would have been woke and it would have sucked. But at the same time, too, at least it would justify its own existence. The current state of what Aladdin is, though, it does not justify its own existence because, okay, why in the hell did you need to do this if you already have a perfectly fine animated movie that is still great to this day? Rosetta Allen says, but can't we all just agree that these old shows, movies, and fandoms die and move on to new things? Constant remakes is sickening. Yeah, seriously. Create new content, Hollywood. Stop being so damn lazy. And also, I would say to George Lucas, move on. Stop trying to change your own history because we know it. We saw the original Star Wars. Those original cuts are still out there. And yet all the tinkering you try to do, all the things you try to do with even in your prequels, you need to stop. Let it be what it is. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Seriously, George, let it be, man. And stop trying to change everything. Hybrid says, I know that video games aren't your thing, but do you think Zelda movie would be cool? If they could do it well, hell yes. I would love it. I would love a Zelda movie. Absolutely. Ocarina of Time, I would love to see that on the big screen. But they would need the right person for the job. And that is where the big question mark is. CW Trixie says, if you want a movie to question your sobriety, just watch We're Back, a dinosaur story almost too trippy to be a kid's movie. What? Dinosaur story? That sounds crazy. Rosetta Allen says the tokenizing of the characters is actually inherently racist and is condescending to minorities and honestly, lazy, uncreative writing. Exactly right. Exactly right. How about instead you make new characters? Hybrid says, I heard someone say Ice Cube would be a good replacement for J. Jonah Jameson. I strongly disagree. Just bring back J.K. Simmons. I agree. But to be honest, if they were going to bring Ice Cube into it and he was going to be not Jameson, but another character similar to Jameson in a similar capacity, could work. But yeah, I agree. I don't think he would be the best person for that specific role. All right, heading back over to my D-Lab people. What's up, D-Lab people? What's up, D-Lab people? Papa Turn says, our weapons are fear and surprise. Our weapons are fear and surprise. And these nice-looking red suits. Our weapons are, yes, and nobody expects the, I'm getting there. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. In fact, when they do, our chief weapons are... God, I love that skit. So good. Peabody says, you started early again. You could at least throw something at me to make sure I am awake. Well, dude, I wish, man, if I had an apple that I could throw to your upside down location, I would. I would do that. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. All right, yeah, anyway, let's see. Hi-Fi says, it's because the person streaming owns the streaming rights by virtue of your sub or movie purchase. That is true. That is indeed very true. And not making money off of it as well, yeah. And that's why over time, if I decided to say, hey, if you want to donate the channel, obviously I would say you don't have to pay. I would never charge people, for example, to watch the movie. But I definitely would be interested in being like, hey, if you want to support the channel to support us doing these types of streams, or even better to say, hey, there's a movie that maybe we want to watch that I don't own. And then we say, all right, let's go ahead and purchase it, etc. And then, boom, we can all watch it together. I mean, things like that. I think that could be a really cool thing. But again, all that stuff is stuff that's going to happen in the future. We're going to see how that develops. Again, I think this morning was a very good test run. Next week, it's not going to be a D-Live stream. It's going to be like a starting off on D-Live. I actually say starting off on D-Live, Periscope, YouTube. It's going to be like a short, like 30-minute stream. And it's going to be all right, guys, we're just getting prepped. Here's the link to where the movie is going to be played, and then once it ends, we're going to go, all right, we're going to start the movie in like a minute, start the movie, and then boom, we'll all be watching it together over on the Rabbit site. Now, of course, if Rabbit gets shut down or people having issues, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and if we need to have a stream live at the same time with audio playing at the very least, we can do that on D-Live for those that can't access it, but we'll see about it. Peabody says, think about it, I am upside down, you don't have to throw hard, just drop stuff on me to wake me up. Physics, Peabody. You are correct, sir. your physics are impeccable. Your physics are impeccable, good sir. Smooth Jam, California, going back over to YouTube, says, after the last few Marvel films and Far From Home looking shite, I think I'm done with Marvel. Oh, well, at least we still have the Dark Universe. Oh, wait. Yeah, remember the Dark Universe? Remember when the Dark Universe was going to be a thing? Those were the days. John Early says, John Campea brought up an interesting point. The sequels to John Wick don't have people in fear of him. People are supposed to fear John Wick the way criminals fear the Batman. But they do. They are afraid of him. They just care more about money. I would say they still fear him because they don't take him lightly. And I think if you're talking about, oh, they're chasing after him, because I think that when he is excommunicado, well, there's no reason to be nearly as afraid because guess what? You have all of these other people that are going after him at the same time, and so your odds go up exponentially. And so I think their mindset is that they are somewhat safer. However, I don't think they take him lightly. And so, yeah, I'm never going to give John Campea the benefit of the doubt because John Campea is just, there are some words that my Valkyrie could say about that. Oh, lordy. Rosetta Allen says, I just remember them using the Badlands for Starship Troopers and the alien terrain being placed where I was trippy. Speaking of which, Badlands. I've been watching a few episodes of that show. Good show. Great fighting. Oh my God. The fighting in the Badlands is great. Soul Assassin, you live in New Orleans, right? Have you ever walked on the set of NCIS New Orleans? No, I have no interest in NCIS, so that stuff does not interest me. Sasha Neon says, anyone else watching the Guardians of the Galaxy series on Disney? Their Black Vortex 4-part special did a cool homage to the other animated styles. Not all Disney's doing sucks. Yeah, I'm just not interested. I'm just not interested in that, to be honest. Alan Spark says, is Endgame still being hyped as the Avatar killer? How likely is that now? I think it is going to beat Avatar. I mean, in the next couple weeks at the very least. So I think that because it's slowed down a whole lot, it's going to be a little bit harder to do so. But let's see. Right now it's at 2.686. And it needs to be at 2.78, so it needs another 100 million or so. It needs another $100 million or so. So let me see by weekend if I can break it down. So foreign gross for this past weekend, it made 17 million. For domestically, it made 22 million. So that means it made about $30-40 million this weekend. It needs another 100 million. So yeah, it's definitely possible. It's definitely, if it's still making this much money. Godzilla is definitely going to eat up a lot of the box office. So I would say if Avengers Endgame continues to have the type of drop it's going to have, it might end up making 15 million, 10 to 15 million next weekend domestically, probably 10 million on the foreign market. And so at that point, it would just need to make 80 million more. So it's possible. It's a lot harder than before. Before it was going to be easy, but it's definitely still possible. Looking at the numbers as I'm looking at them, not a guarantee, but I think it's possible, and I kind of hope it does. Hyper says, let's just say if you read my version of Endgame, Nerdgasm would be boosted to 100 XP. It's epic as hell. At least a lot less messy than the whole time travel shenanigan Fat Thor. Okay, well, if you can make it into a movie, I will be glad to watch it. Sticky V says, shout out to all your fans almost falling over, so we'll be going to bed soon. Hail Odin. Sticky V, thank you very much, man. You have a good night. Thank you very much for sticking with me, sure. Random Dude says, Observe and Report was the Seth Rogen movie that is rated R and he beats kids on skateboards, and you were thinking of Mall Cop. I don't care. I don't care. You understood my reference. Senate says, I love Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan, but I grew up Ewan McGregor's. I love it. No, they're both great. They are both iconic Obi-Wan Kenobis. Smooth Jam California says, I don't hate Endgame, but I completely respect your opinion and agree with a lot of what you were saying. It's nowhere near Infinity War. Paul Rudd and Karen Gillan did hold it up, though. No, I think that there are great individual performances in it. No question about it. There are some great individual performances. There are some great character arcs. There are some great moments in the film. I'm not denying that, but what I'm saying is that the basic premise, the basic plot point can't stand on itself, and that's the reason why I overall have an issue with it. Rosetta Allen says, I am sick of the 50 billion versions of Spider-Man anyway. Sorry, not sorry. Have zero interest in still watching more and more Spider-Man. I hear you, man. The reason why I'm going to go see Far From Home, though, Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm a huge Jake Gyllenhaal fan. I love his work. I love his movies. And I would very, very, very much like to see him on the big screen again because he's awesome. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why I'd be watching it. Super says, wait, who's suggesting Ice Cube be Joe to Janice today? I don't know who was, but someone said that someone, it was hearsay, see? It was hearsay, see? Hearsay, see? Yash. Hybrid says, seriously though, Ash vs. Evil Dead TV series was worth watching. If you want to know more about the lore and have more comedy with Ash, it is fantastic. Highly recommend. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Smooth Jam California says, I love Ice Cube, and he would be brilliant as a similar character, but not as the man himself. Yeah, I'm right there. Smooth Jam, I agree. I'd rather they create a new character than just reinventing old ones. I agree. I'd rather new content than revamped content that doesn't make any sense. Then it says, what's the Dark Universe? You don't remember the Dark Universe? That Universal was, how Universal was remaking all of their classic monster films, and their goal was to have them all be interconnected, and they were going to try and essentially create a MCU version of the monster universe called the Dark Universe. And they had a picture set. Look it up. Look up the Dark Universe. They have a set photo of all of the different people playing all the different monsters. All before the first movie came out. And then the first movie, The Mummy, came out, and it was awful. And so it was they will never seen again. Hyman says, I pray Dune will be good. Also, do you plan on reading the book before it comes out, or do you want to go in blind? I kind of want to go in blind. I am somewhat interested in the book, but I kind of want to go in blind to it. And I think I am 99.9% positive that Dune will be brilliant. Because Denis Villeneuve, who is the director, has not made a bad movie yet. He's got a perfect track record of movies. Even the movie Enemy, which is like, oh my God, so over your head. Akira levels of what the F? Still a great movie. Still very well done. So, Random Nerd says, if you are from Louisiana, how come you don't have an accent? Because most people don't. Fun fact. Rosetta Allen says, have you ever actually been to the Badlands? No. It really is a strange place of painted desert connected to mountains and old caves. If you ever go, I'll show you around. Now, I've never been there. Never been there. Super says, what baffles me is the ton of moviegoers gobble up these remakes, thus enabling Hollywood. Any ideas on how to convince people they are bad, or do you think they'll fizzle out? I think they will fizzle out. I think that over time, especially as people get fatigued on this, and also remember, streaming is the new game in town, and as I've mentioned, the box office has been constricting every year. The box office numbers go down every single year. Yes, there's still these big budget films that do well, but the rest of the box office is not doing very well. Again, the numbers are shrinking over and over again. Theaters are closing down. And now that you have studios like Disney producing major content for a streaming service, it's not going to be long before movies by Disney are going to be made for their streaming service, similar to what Netflix has. And then when that happens, what happens to the movie theaters? So yeah, I definitely think that we're getting to the point where remakes are not going to be a thing anymore. Or at the very least, if they are, they're not going to do well financially, and they'll just be caught up in the constant movies that are being released on like, for example, think of all the movies that get released on Netflix. How many of them are actually good? Not many. I think that it'll fall into that category where they'll just kind of fall into the background. Random Nerd Doom, what do you think of the Underworld movies? I like them. I like Underworld. Do I think that they got worse as they went on? Absolutely, but overall, not bad. Seahawks, Scott, thank you very much for the $20 super chat, man. Very generous. Appreciate that. We need Princess Bride Part 2, mostly dead. Yes. With as many people from the original cast as possible. That actually could be pretty funny, to be honest. But no, we don't. Let's not remake that, please. As I said before, I will have actually the same stipulation for Back to the Future. If they did a Princess Bride sequel, as long as it was a short film and for charity, I would be 100% behind that. Similar to how Red Nose, for anyone that ever saw the movie Love Actually, they did a follow-up short film for charity called Red Nose Day, because for Red Nose Day, anyone from the UK, anyone from Europe might know about it. And it was brilliant. It was awesome. It was so cool to see these same actors and to see where they ended up, to see where their characters ended up. And I thought they handled everything very well, very gracefully, and it was really good. I think it would be really cool to see more of those types of short films, where it's these older franchises that never got sequels, or where the fan base is so strong they want more. That's why, to be honest, as much as I would love to have a Firefly reboot or a Serenity sequel, which I think still would work, I don't think that would be too far of a stretch. Even if we could just get a mini episode or something, or even a short film, I think that could be really cool. Hybrid says, I wish I could, man, but Disney would strike. Yeah. Tech Guy says, could Serenity or Firefly be remade? Well, I don't want them to be remade, though, because the actors are so attached to the characters. Like, I cannot think of another Malcolm Reynolds. And I'm sure someone's going to try one day, but I don't want them to. And as I just said, speaking of Firefly and Serenity, I would rather them make a short film or reboot it with the original actors who can still play those roles than to reboot it and with other people. Definitely would not want that to happen. Rosetta Allen says, at my wedding, my brother strapped on actual ball and chain to my hubby, and he had to dance through the Princess Bride theme with it on for 6 minutes. It was funny. My niece kept pulling on. That is great. Jeremy Swig says, even Brokeback Mountain? I don't know what that was referencing to. I don't know what that was. Oh, for Jake Gyllenhaal? He was, okay. Brokeback Mountain is not a good movie. But Jake Gyllenhaal is great in that movie. Scout's honor. He is great in it. He gives a great performance in it. He was the one that should have gotten more attention from the Academy that year, rather than because as much as I love me some Heath Ledger did not give the better performance in that movie. The movie was not good, but the performances were still good. Smooth Jam in California says, I'd rather watch Infinity War. I'd rather Infinity War beat Avatar, but I'll be happy if Endgame beats it, because the way I look at it, it's more a testament to the MCU as a whole rather than just a movie alone. Well, also because I still do not like Avatar, and I don't like that Avatar is getting 5 more movies, and so I would rather a Marvel film have that top spot. And again, guys, remember, when you adjust for inflation, I mean, it's no contest. It's not even going to come close to Avatar. But also, Avatar doesn't even come close to things like, oh my gosh, what am I? Not Little House on the Prairie. God, not Little House on the Prairie. Oh man, I hate when I'm blanking on it. It'll come back to me. Grandmaster Yoda says, many things Disney sent Endgame a second time to defeat Avatar. They don't make it. I think they just greedy. The only way wish. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll do that, Grandmaster. I think that they will re-release it, and they might even say extra footage or something like that. To push it over the edge. Because, as I said, it theoretically could get very close, because it only needs to make $100 million more to be able to beat Avatar. And even if they did nothing, it could get within range, within at least 50 million, I would say. And to do a re-release, I think that they could make that work. John Early says, also remember this. Guess what comes out this summer? Spider-Man Far From Home. Guess what they're saying is completing the Endgame or Infinity Saga story, phase 3 going into phase 4. The phase 3 ending is supposed to be Spider-Man. So I could totally see them re-releasing Endgame before that movie comes out. And hey, that could be a way to get enough. John Early says, hope Todd Phillips' Joker becomes the definitive Joker origin story. Me too. It looks great. The way that Batman Begins became the definitive Batman origin story, although I doubt Joker is going to be a trilogy. Yeah, I mean, I just want the movie. The movie. The movie looks great. Hybrid says, the thing about Endgame was they didn't know what kind of film they wanted. A heist, time travel, character-driven, make up your mind. Should have been a epic space clash and grittiness. And also, too, they made it so long, and yet everything felt so rushed. Senate says, no, I wasn't paying attention in that time. I guess I had heard The Mummy, but I never heard that they were making an MCU type movie. Yep, they were going to make its own universe. They were going to make their own universe indeed. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Oh my God, there are so many chats on YouTube. Why? There's only 65 people. Why am I behind in the chat? Need to give my D-Lab people some love. D-Lab people, hello, my friends. Hello, I see you all so very much. God, now I'm behind on D-Live. Damn. All right, anyway. Peabody. Okay, got that one. Peabody says, what is scarier, a man in a black suit and mask or an active feminist in a black suit and mask? Are you kidding me? Active feminist any day of the week. Brad Bear Hunter says, watch Prince of Persia 15 times? I mean, look, I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I like him as an actor, even in that movie where it wasn't his best performance, but 15 times? 15 times? No, not me. Hell no, I didn't see that movie 15 times. Dion, thank you for the lemon. Appreciate it. Frank says, we need Spaceballs too. The sets for more money. Yes, we do. This is a true statement, my friend. Dion, thank you for the ice cream. Peabody says, if you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. Dion, thank you for the ice cream. I'll treat myself to some ice cream. Be right back. Ooh, some in real life ice cream. That sounds delicious. Poppyton, thank you very much, man. Hello. AutoWorks is dropping some bombs. AutoWorks, why don't you just drop a Ninja Genie while you're at it, man? It seems like you're loaded. But seriously, thank you, man. Thank you for the 2 lemons, the 2 ice cream, and the 2 diamonds. I appreciate that so much. AutoWorks is awesome. AutoWorks is my number one contributor for not only this stream, but also for the month, I think, at this point. AutoWorks is awesome. Thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that love over on DLive. All right, back to my YouTube's. Got to catch up here. Hyperin says, the thing about Endgame was they didn't know what kind of film. I got that one already. Senses, okay, got that already. COD says, which version of The Mummy is the best version? The first one with Brendan Fraser. Love that film. Hyperin says, Denis Villeneuve will return with Dune like Thor's arrival in Wakanda. Bring me Disney. Also, I feel bad for Nolan. Denis stole Hans Zimmer from him. I think it's borrowed. I think he just borrowed it. Random Nerd says, what was it like to have lived in New York, and was it really expensive? It was extremely expensive, and it had its ups and downs, basically. Rosetta Allen says, I'm going to start a movement to get a fight for movies for David Eddings novels. They are complex Middle-earth novels in the same style as Tolkien. Interesting. See, Rosetta Allen says, any of them except the one of Tom Cruise made, it was cringy as bleep. Oh, we're talking about, yeah. It was not good. Hyman says, Underworld had a better love story than Twilight. Hells yeah. Greta says, hey, Odin, did you watch The Last Watch? What are your thoughts? The Last Watch? Is that a Gyllenhaal film? Are you thinking of End of Watch? You're thinking of End of Watch, not The Last Watch. Oh, the Game of Thrones. Oh, the Game of Thrones documentary. Hell no. Oh, no. I'm done. I'm done with Game of Thrones. No, absolutely not. I'm done with it. I refuse to watch it. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Because everything I'm watching is just gonna piss me off. Soul Assassin says, a remake of The Princess Bride. Inconceivable. Rosetta Allen says, I just pray they never try and do an entire book series to Willow. It goes super bad fast. Alora Dannon turns to a brat and gets Mad Mardigan and Sorcha killed. Ooh, yeah, that would be good. Smooth Jam California says, I was looking forward to seeing how Marvel would do the Fantastic Four once they got the rights, but after Captain Marvel and Endgame, I'm less excited. At least we still have the Incredibles, I suppose. Yeah, I guess, kind of. Yeah, they're not doing anything with X-Men for 5 years, which means they're probably going to do Fantastic Four before that time. So, yeah, my excitement levels have dropped dramatically. Super says, thanks for hosting another great stream. Think I have to go for the evening. Well, Super, thank you very much for being here, man. Appreciate it. Rosetta Allen says, see all the Princess Bride chat. Please, movie night on Saturday for me and hubby and our anniversary on Sunday. We might do that. Might see what the... We might see what yeses and nos. At the end of the chat, we'll do some yeses and nos, all right? Rosetta Allen says, Brokeback Mountain got sued by the town they used for intentionally slandering actual people in the town. Yep, wouldn't surprise me there. Hybrid says, I can already see visions of SJWs whining about Dune having a white male savior appeal. Even then, they are going to miss the point, as the protagonist himself isn't much of a hero. But also isn't supposed to be human either, from what I remember, right? Right? I've seen the very beginning of the original, so I know at least that much from it. La da 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 da. Rosetta Allen says, Avatar is SJW bastardized Indian culture with acid dropping Smurfs. Stand by that to my dying day. And Rosetta Allen, I appreciate every single time. Gone with the Wind. Thank you, Ninja Girl. Thank you, Gone with the Wind. That was the movie I was thinking of. Yeah, it's Avatar. Those movies are never going to touch what's Gone with the Wind made at the box office, because that movie sold so many tickets. Hybrid says, the MCU was a waste. Glad I'm not on board anymore. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on Far From Home. Yeah, I'm going to go see it because Jake Gyllenhaal. Rosanna Allen says, there are so many chats because I am hyper as all get out and unable to stand. So yap. Sorry, so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Kermit the Log, thank you very much, man, for the super chat. Says, you would love Peaky Blinders. There are a lot of shows, apparently, that I would like, but God, there are so many shows that I need to watch. Smooth Jam California says, George R. Martin versus George Lucas in a mud wrestling match. Who wins? Who loses? The fans lose. Everyone loses in that situation, bud. Come on. Everyone loses in. He says, come to think of it, we probably, exactly. You answered your own question. We would all lose in that scenario. Grandmaster Yoda says, Alita is the only film I've seen 15 times in theaters, but I turned crazy a long time ago, so it's okay. Random Nerd says, did Alita's freakishly big eyes scare you? I got nightmares from seeing how big her eyes were. Nope, I actually got used to them pretty quickly, which is one of the reasons why I liked it, because when I first saw the trailers for it, I had a lot of doubts, but then it turned out to be pretty good. Cash Hermosa says, hey, Odin, just tuned in. Well, thank you for tuning in. We're getting towards the end of the stream. So thank you for joining us. Rosetta Allen says, I agree on The Mummy. I always liked Brandon except Monkey Bone. That sucked. Oh, my God, Monkey Bone. Jeremy Swiggs liked October Sky. Nice. John Rose says, my favorite film from the mid-2000s are Batman Begins and Casino Royale. 2005-2006 was a great couple of years, although in between Royale and Dark Knight was Spidey 3 and Fantastic Four. Yep. Good and bad. The good and the bad, they go together. But yeah, Begins and Casino Royale are both fantastic films. Greta says, I watched it. It makes you appreciate the hard work of the crew members and extras. And again, I will always stand by. I will always stand by cast and crew behind the scenes who do all that hard work and such. But I'm not supporting HBO by watching it. That's the main reason why. Smooth Jam California says, did you hear about Sophie Turner slacking off fans after Game of Thrones finale? Yeah, I already talked about that earlier in the stream. Random Nerd says, why does Sean Bean keep dying in all of his movies? They've already made a joke. Look up on YouTube. There is a video dedicated to Sean Bean dying, and it is freaking hilarious because he dies in almost everything he does. And there are some movies that play around with it where he doesn't die, and they make a joke of it. Rosetta Allen says, can we admit modern Hollywood is a pile of woke fecal matter? Yes. Those are the exact words for it. Hyperin says, God bless you. God bless you, Hyperin. Rosetta Allen says, Monkey Bone was one of the most painful shroom-induced crap fest of all time. I love that explanation. Bryce Killinger. Just so you know, Bryce Killinger, if you want me to read your comments, put Odin question all one word. I only saw it because it was next to someone who actually did put Odin question. Those are the only ones that I read, all right? But I'm making an exception this one time, Bryce Killinger. Odin, have you seen the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance pictures that have been released upcoming series? Yeah, and it looks just like the original. So, hey, good job. Grandmaster Yoda says, I think Alita's eyes give her charm. Yeah, and they did it very well. They did the eyes very well. And I think that is the reason why we were able to support. AutoWorks says that he'll drop more when you'll have better alerts. Wait, so you mean like the alerts that pop up here? All right, I'll look into that for you, AutoWorks. I'll look into that for you. Just for you, though. And then P-Bye says, Game of Thrones is the only place Captain Phasma doesn't die. Oh, my God. It's so sad. It is so sad. Negative Ghost Rider pattern is full. All right, guys. So we're gonna start to wrap things up for the evening. This has been a fun low council. Thank you, guys. We've had consistently over 50 people on YouTube. About 10 to 16 people on DLive. So this has been much more successful than I thought it would be. But thank you guys so much for being so supportive. Tina says, yeah, put Odin question. Thank you very much, Tina. I appreciate you for letting them know that. Rosetta Allen says, I am actually hopeful for the Dark Crystal stuff. Yeah, I mean, it looks just like the original. And if they're going to give it credit, if they're going to do the things that are worth doing, then I think, yeah, go ahead and do that. But yeah, let me go ahead and get my list of patrons up real quick as y'all put any last minute questions or comments. Someone says, don't leave us. Tech Guy says, don't leave us. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Kermit the Log says, have you seen my comedy? What? What do you mean? Rosetta Allen says, I think Dark Crystal had the best story and Labyrinth the best. Oh my God. Labyrinth is just fantastic. I love Labyrinth. I love it. And the Valks rock indeed. Music, not story. Okay. Labyrinth had the best everything. I saw my baby crying hard as babe could cry. What could I do? All right, shouting out to my patrons, A Great Jedi, Adam Shawhan, Albertus Magnus, Baptist 702, Brandon Blick from only person over on Subscribestar, Brian P, Chicago Joe 47, Dan Maloney, Darkstar 57, Delete System 32, Dion, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Entertainment Hacker, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Hunka Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Drop Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan Jerembeck, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mello, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Projar Sharif, Proper Ginevra, Riff Magos, Shenglong, Sir Lance Elato, Theodora the K-Man, the DJD Show, those two ball guys, and Tina B. You are all amazing people. Thank you for being my patrons. And also, it's about 3 days away until the end of the month, so if you need to update or change any of your patronages over on Patreon, go ahead and take care of that. Also, Subscribestar. I have a Subscribestar. You should be able to find the links to that in the description of this video. I would go ahead and check that out too. You get the same benefits as Patreon as well, but you don't have to support Patreon in order to do it. And again, these are things that you don't have to do. Just you being here, dropping a like, and being as awesome as you guys are is more than enough for me. Kermit the Log, thank you very much for the super chat, says, I do jokes that I think you would like. All right, Kermit the Log. Kermit the Log, I think you're also on Twitter. message me on Twitter so that way I can have direct access to one of these things. Let's see. Smooth Jam California. One last question. F it. Favorite Shrek movie? Shrek 1. I mean, it's kind of got to be. Shrek 1. Rosetta Allen says Bowie was a freaking monster. Miss him. So good. I mean, people forget. Bowie was in one of the most underrated Christopher Nolan films of all time. Don't forget, Bowie was in The Prestige. And The Prestige might be one of Nolan's best films. And it's definitely his most underrated. Sasha Neon says, just never let it be low T council. No soy allowed in Asgard. Damn right. No soy allowed here. Cas Hermosa, you have a good night. Rosetta Allen, Anpetu, Waste Wakan, Takan, Kisi Un. Have a most pleasant night. Live long and prosper. You too as well. Also, guys, so for Rosetta Allen, just yeses and nos. Just yeses and nos. For Saturday, for the Saturday movie night stream, do you want the movie to be Princess Bride? Yes or no? I'm just gonna go by voice vote, yeses and nos for the Saturday night stream. I don't have a time yet, so don't ask me about that. But for the Saturday night stream to be Princess Bride, yeses or nos? And just know if you say no, then it means that we'll have other options. So. Don't spam, please. Don't spam, please. La da 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 da. As you wish. Okay, Rhaegar. Okay, that's what I thought. John Early says no. See some yeses. Okay, so yeses so far dominating. All right, seeing some yeses. Orange Hat Reviews says no. Tina says neutral. I always love when people are just brutally honest. Just like, no thanks. 70B, I know you didn't mean it this way, but 70B, I just read it, it's like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. That's great. Well, it looks like the yeses have it. So Princess Bride, guys, looks like Princess Bride is going to be the movie that we watch on Saturday. So I will get you guys posted on that and when we have a time because, of course, of rehearsals and stuff going on this weekend. So I will let you guys know about it. But also remember that we're not going to be utilizing the stream like we normally do. We're going to be utilizing something called Rabbit. So if you want to actually create an account on Rabbit to kind of get ahead of the game, go ahead and do so. And then I'll try and find, hopefully it's available on either Netflix or Hulu or somewhere digital. If not, I might have a digital copy of it. If that's the case, then I'll be able to stream it through that process. So anyway, guys, thank you all so very much for watching, for being a part of this low council. You're awesome. Do you like Titanic? I do and I don't. I think it's an hour too long and the rest of it's awesome. So that's my honest opinion. Wabbit season. Yeah, Rabbit. That was the service we were using earlier. So I'll post a link to it. So yeah, create a profile on Rabbit. And then that way, let's see. Rabbit. It's rabbit.it. Let me try. Copy. All right, so for DLive people, so this is going to be for any Tuesday. So any Tuesday stream and also for any evening stream because we're going to do movie streams once a month. And so our movie this month is going to be, I put it up on Discord as well. And I'm going to put it in the chat as well. Tina's already beaten me to the punch. Boone. So it's rab.it or rabbit. And so again, that's how we're going to watch movies from this point forward. And the only time that we won't keep to that is if there are issues for a lot of people. Let's see. Nick, thank you for the follow over on the DLive. Be very, very quiet. I'm running Wabbit, says Peabody. Indeed. And also, DLive people, don't go anywhere because as normal, I'm going to add some Lino to the chest and distribute it as the stream ends. All right, guys. So seriously, thank you guys so much for being amazing and beautiful people. Jeremy Swig says, did you watch episodes of Psych with Carrie Hughes? He's hilarious. I never watched Psych, but Carrie Hughes is great. He has a great, guys, a great book. As You Wish. Carrie Yu's great book. Let's see. Dion, thank you for the lemon. K-Man, thank you for the lemon. Bot, also thank you for the lemon as well. And Dr. Novos Locos, thank you very much for the follow. All right, guys, you are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.